What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine, Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.
And we are live. David, I see you over there in the chat, and you're damn right. Do you think Ben is hiking himself up before the show like a rock star? Absolutely. What I do is I usually have probably about 2 or 3 Red Bulls and a touch of coffee. And when I say a touch, I mean probably 8 cups ish. And of course, a smoke. Okay, guys and gals, today we are going to jump in. All right. I have a friend who lives in Boston. All right. And he was letting me know about a couple of real estate things that were going on up there. And one of them has went public. Now, they don't actually name who it is, but I want you to watch this clip. Shout out to What the Bitcoin Did show. Let's watch this real quick and watch this guy explain exactly what the big players in real estate are doing, because we want to help you do the same thing. Hang on one second. You put myself down here.
We provided a financing solution to the owner of a multifamily asset in Old City in Philadelphia. The building was originally built, well, there are 3 buildings that are joined together around a courtyard in the back. And they were built at various times in the 1800s. They were old industrial buildings. So nowadays they're loft-style living with exposed brick and nice architectural windows and wooden floors. It's been owned by the same family investor for, at this point, going on almost 30 years. So it's been a good asset for them. They've upgraded it from time to time. And they had a loan that was coming due on the asset. It was about a $9 million loan. Building's worth about twice that. And we provided them with a refinancing solution, which enabled them to pay off the existing mortgage, the then existing mortgage, to invest about $2 million of additional capital into the building to make routine repairs. They wanted to renovate some of the common areas, recarpet the hallways, replace the cabinetry in the kitchens as the units turn over. And then, importantly, we added another $1.5 million of value to the financing, which was used to buy just shy of 20 Bitcoin. Because at the time, the Bitcoin price was a little bit higher than $75,000. So our collateral for our loan is the combination of this nice building located across the street from the Museum of the American Revolution and just a short walk away from the First Bank of the United States. Nice neighborhood, lots of restaurants and boutiques and art galleries and whatnot. It's secured by that building, and it's also secured by 20 Bitcoin. And if something were to go wrong with the asset, we think we're in a lot better position than a conventional lender, because a conventional lender has to recover only against that asset. And as nice as it is, it's idiosyncratic. You need to find somebody that wants to take on that specific asset, that has the means, the ability to do so. It's not liquid. It's not divisible. You can't just take on a little bit of it. You have to take on all 63 units, all 3 commercial spaces. And, it's good collateral, just like any physical collateral, but it has limitations, just like any physical collateral. We have the ability to recover against that, but then we also have the ability to augment our recovery with the Bitcoin, which puts us in a far more robust position because the Bitcoin is liquid, it's fungible, it's divisible, it's universal, and it tends to go up over time, meaning that our loan to value goes down over the life of a loan, which is a unique feature for a loan.
And that's
Okay, what he just said is what I want people to really wrap their heads around. This is the future, and this is why I say Trump is setting up the Bitcoin to take over the global progressive system. Because the global progressive system is the monetary system. And when I say monetary system, what I mean is collateral. That's what everything runs on collateral. Now, in the old days, prior to the existence of the actual Bitcoin, everything had risk of life. If you own a house and your loan is solely actually based on that home, you have to have insurance, you have to have PMI, you have to actually pay so much extra because of the risk of that home. Why? Because it's in the world. It's physical. If you live in an area where there's a flood zone, you have to have flood zone insurance because flood is physical. It can wipe out your house. There's no flood that is going to flood your Bitcoin. It's on a blockchain out in the ether. This is what people really need to wrap their heads around. Is yes, we have the Bitcoin, which is the best money out there. Absolutely, no problem. But you have to look at it as a second layer because it is collateral. It is absolutely pure, pristine loan collateral. When you own the Bitcoin, there's no debt with it. It is just you own an asset. And that asset is liquid, unlike a house, where if you have an emergency and you're like, oh shit, I got to sell my house. You got to get a hold of a real estate agent. You have to market it. You have to there's shit wrong with your house. You have to repair it. You have to prepare the property for a sale. With the Bitcoin, you just sell it. You just sell it. That's it. And that's where we are going. That's why, shout out to Michael Saylor. He's explained this over and over again, and I don't think people are really wrapping their heads around what it is, right? Even with the gold, you could use it as collateral, but because it's physical, someone other than you has to have the gold. They have to hold it. We got it as collateral. This is how it's set up in the world now, because everything is reliant on physical. Well, that's all changing. Like this guy just said, it is pristine collateral that goes up in price quicker than the home does. So this is a leverage, and this is what all of the lenders, this is why private key capital, you guys are going to be able to actually get a loan, or your children. Right now, they can't afford a house, right? They can't afford a house, but we will have a loan that will actually link it with a certain percentage of the loan in actual Bitcoin. The appreciation will pay off your loan. This is a completely different system, because there has never been a home loan linked with an appreciating asset except the home. And that's crazy. Now we have a whole completely different lending market out there where you can actually get a home loan, and with part of that loan, you buy Bitcoin and you link them together. And as it appreciates, you can either keep with your loan, and when you pay off your loan, you receive, just like you receive your home. Hey, I paid off my house. Now I got the title. Look at me. When you pay off your loan, you also get the Bitcoin. Think about that. This is such a completely different system than we've ever had, because we've lived in a system of credit, not assets. And that's why I tell everyone, holy shit, do you guys realize where we're at in this? We're at the beginning of this. We're at the very tippy beginning of this. And as this happens, guys, there's over, what is it, $600 trillion in debt just in America, right? Just in America, $600 trillion in debt. Eventually, at least half of that will be held in an asset, the Bitcoin, as collateral on the debt. This is so important that people realize what is going on right now. And this is not an exaggeration. You and your son or your kid or your brother, whoever, you guys can actually give us a call. We will help you actually get a loan, get the Bitcoin, and hold it. Now, why are you holding that? Right? You get a loan, we get you some Bitcoin, no KYC. We ship it to you, we send it to you, and you have the asset, right? Then you hold that and you add more to it. What you are doing is you're creating. This is why everyone says don't sell your Bitcoin, because as the price goes up, what you can do is leverage against your Bitcoin. So you can actually, just think about this, guys. When you purchase now and its price goes up in the future, that's like you own pristine land, pristine capital, and you own it for generations. Your grandchildren can borrow against the Bitcoin you actually bought earlier. This is generational wealth and generational capital. This is like land you can hand down for generations, and they can use it as a collateral for anything. And they'll actually get a lower interest rate. Think about this. This, in the future, let's say you have $100,000 worth of actual Bitcoin, and you want a loan so you can head out and you can actually purchase a car. You get a loan against your actual Bitcoin, which will be at a lower rate because it isn't, your loan isn't on the car. It's on pristine collateral of the Bitcoin. So your interest rate will be lower because the lender is like, wait, so you're buying a car, but you're getting a loan against the Bitcoin and not the car. They're absolutely going to give you a lower rate because it isn't reliant on a hunk of shit car that as soon as you drive off the lot, it loses value. And look at the loans friggin' nowadays. If you head out and you actually buy a brand new car, you need insurance because it depreciates before you pay off the loan. You owe more than the car is worth, the majority of the loan. So you need, I think they call it, what do they call it? I think they call it, I think it's called gap insurance, where what it's worth is way the fuck down here, and what you owe is way the hell up here. And you need insurance. The insurance is an extra cost. Well, you don't have that with the Bitcoin. That's why I keep telling everyone, we've set up programs for you guys. Let me just say this. We can get you a loan up to $250,000 to get you some Bitcoin. I'm just saying that right now is when you grab as much as you can. All of the wealth, look at the wealthy people. They're getting as much as they can possibly fucking get. We're at such a point where, like I've said in the past, it's like we are the Bitcoin pilgrims, and we just landed on Plymouth Block. And now we're all walking out into the wilderness, and we're choosing land where we're going to put our houses. Well, if you knew that Manhattan was going to be Manhattan, would you not claim as much of it as you possibly can? That's where we're at now. We just landed on Plymouth Block. And we're all looking around going, you know what? We should claim some of this land because this shit's going to be valuable. And just like early America, we're going to war. Remember, We had Great Britain. We had France. Yeah, fuck France. And we had all of these other people, other countries with completely different agendas that wanted the land that we were on. So they swarmed in, and they're just trying to get as much land as possible. They're fighting, they're arguing. And what was it all over? The new system, the new world. We're entering into the new world, and it is the Bitcoin world. Guys, there's nothing else out there, right? For those of you who know history, when the Pilgrims were coming over, there was a reason, several reasons, that they were heading over here to America. The one we most commonly know is religious freedom. Yes, they were Puritans. But inflation over in Great Britain and England was going fucking nuts, was going crazy. Housing prices. You want a little bit of education on where we're at? I've had so many people like, oh, the price of gold is just skyrocketing. Yeah, because that's the remnants of the old system. The remnants of the old system is going up because everyone from the old system is used to the old system place where you run to put your money. It happened exactly the same way whenever the Pilgrims were coming over to America. The price of gold was shooting up over in Europe because the old system, that's one of the reasons that the Pilgrims were running their asses off, right? Because the old system was dying. It was economically and religiously, it was dying. Well, we watch the price of the gold go up. It's the exact same thing that happened way back in the day when the Pilgrims were heading over here. They knew that system's toast, and they were coming over. And then we sit and go, oh, look at all the immigration that happened over to America. Yeah. Why were they running? Not only for freedom and religious, it was the money. The reason so many people fled from Europe over to America was the money. The money was dying. It kept losing value because then they're kicking into the fiat shit. Things, yeah, it's we're at an inflection point in human history, not American history, not Europe history, not China history. Oh, by the way, I have it on good information. China is absolutely fucking buying some Bitcoin. Absolutely. They know what's coming. They know exactly what's coming. Yeah. Oh, yes. Everyone watching, please hit like and subscribe to the channel to get more of this passionate pro people show, which pro people means pro Bitcoin because it's honest money. That's what it is. Hang on one second. Shot of Red Bull. We are at a place where everyone in the know, in the elites, they know exactly what's coming. Everyone who lives in the money markets and The markets, period, know exactly what's coming. They know exactly what Bitcoin is going to be used for. They know exactly why Trump and the Congress is setting up the Bitcoin so it can go into every single 401k. When you shift from an old currency into a new currency, you want the people of your country to shift over quickly. And that's what they're doing. As the old system dies, the value of the Bitcoin will go up. And as it goes up, it will recapitalize the whole country. But what people got to wrap their minds around is all of the fiat currency in the world is going to let me put it this way, all of the inflation of the world is going to rush into the Bitcoin. Mark my words, friends. I have several friends who are gold bugs, several friends who are gold bugs and silver bugs. London shut off the silver to India. India cannot get any more silver. Now, you look at that and you say, holy shit, silver's going to skyrocket. Price is going to go up. But there's a problem. The liquidity of the silver and the silver derivatives. Folks, we're here. We're at a point where we're going to hear failure to deliver. That's a big fucking deal with physical metals. So basically what London just said, sorry, India, we are having a failure to deliver. But they're not calling it a failure to deliver. They're calling it a failure to offer. Fuck me. That's the equivalent. If you went to Coinbase and they're like, yeah, we ain't got no Bitcoin, sorry. We're just out. Yeah. Guys, the old system is dying. Everyone who doesn't know what you and I know, they're running to gold, but they're running to gold derivative market. And we haven't even seen the beginning yet because leverage, guys, you think there's leverage in Bitcoin? Wait, give it about a week or so, and you're going to hear people talking about leverage gold, where people are borrowing money and leveraging gold shares. The problem is the gold shares, guys, let me give you an example. On a normal month, on a 1 month time period, there's usually 50 contracts of gold who say, we want our physical gold. Now, these are not small contracts. These are big, big, big. We are talking tens of thousands of ounces of gold. On an average month, there's about 500,000 ounces of gold delivered. Last month, there were 150 contracts that requested for delivery. That's 3 times higher than the average month. What's that mean? That means people don't want the derivatives. They don't want shares. They don't want a derivative. They want the physical. All right, hang on one second. Word from the sponsor.
Your Bitcoin sitting idle. Time to make it work. Private Key Capital, the world's first fully Bitcoin-backed financial institution, lets you earn 4% APY on your Bitcoin. Enjoy Bitcoin savings accounts, secure custody, Bitcoin-backed loans, fiat on-off ramps, and exclusive member benefits. This is crypto banking reimagined. Early members get the best rates. Join Private Key Capital today and start earning 4%.
Yeah, wait. Guys, the future of banking's here, and we're rolling it out first. We're at a place where the old system, yes, Lena, you are so correct. It won't take long before we can't buy any Bitcoin anymore. Mining will actually be the only option left. You're close. There will always actually be, you will be able to purchase whatever you want in actual Bitcoin. Problem is, what price will you pay? Because unlike gold, remember, the physical gold, unless you run down and you say, hey, I want some gold coins, when you purchase gold, you have to have it shipped to you. Now, you don't think that there are going to be places and people who are watching for gold shipments? You don't think that, guys, you don't think that some governments might be watching for shipments of gold coming into their country? Did anyone pay attention to what happened during World War II? And don't think we're not in a world war, because we are. It's just not a hot war yet, or at least not mostly a hot war yet. We've had casualties, Charlie Kirk. We've reached a point where this is all moving so quickly, so quick. The rollover, because you guys have to understand, the derivatives market of gold is enormous. And for silver, let's put it this way. There are 40 claims on every ounce of gold and higher for silver. 40 claims. That means 39 of those claims are in a derivative. Who owns it? When the music quits playing, who owns the gold? Yeah, whoever owns it owns it. The vault. The vault owns it. That's why I've said for years, hold your own Bitcoin. Hold your own Bitcoin. That's why how we are launching our bank in the wallet of the bank. You hold your own Bitcoin. Hey Ben, 600 trillion in debt in USA? Absolutely. Look it up. Because when I say debt, what I'm talking about is shit owed to people. That means all of the derivatives are a debt against an asset. That's what a debt is. When you have 1 ounce of gold has 40 claims on it, that means 39 of those claims, that's a debt. When most people actually think of like, oh, home loans and car loans and credit card loans, guys, that's just our regular world. That doesn't include the derivatives of the debt. That's what happened in 2007, 2008. There were so many derivatives of the debt. That's what wiped out all, well, at least Lehman went under. The rest of them are like, no, we're just print money. Guys, they printed so much money, more than the official number. They're like, oh, it's only going to take like $600 billion. Bullshit. Because all the banks hold are derivatives. Guys, do you think the federal government only owes $38 trillion in debt? Not even fucking close. Because you have to remember, treasury bonds can be represented in a derivative. Wait, what? Yeah, treasury bonds can be held in a derivative. Hang on one second. Hold that thought. Okay. This is a derivative of a treasury bond. All right. This is backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. Treasury bond. It's here. Now, we all know what fractional reserve banking is, right? Right? What people don't realize, there's fractional reserve lending. When a bank holds $100, they can lend out 90. That is a derivative of a derivative of a derivative. Because $100 creates $90 worth of what? Debt. And what is a treasury bond? When the Treasury sells the treasury bond to create the derivative of the treasury bond to the Federal Reserve, that then sends it to the bank, and the bank can then take this $100 and create $90 worth of debt. It's a multiple. And remember, the treasury bond, that's your future labor. So think of it this way. If the federal government is $38 trillion in debt, think of $38 trillion into the fractional reserve system. So you actually take that 38 trillion and you times it by 9. Let that sink in. The $38 trillion is in treasury bond debt. I just explained how the treasury bonds are sold to create this, which is a derivative of the bond. Then this is given to the banks, who through fractional reserve banking and fractional reserve lending, they lend out $90 more than the $100. Right? Oh, wait. No, it's worse than that, folks. I'm actually saying it wrong. If they have $100, they can loan out $900. Think about that. So the Treasury bond, what the U.S. says the federal government owes, is not what the federal government owes. It is at least 9 times higher because of fractional reserve banking. Whew, let that sink in, folks. Let that sink in. If they hold $100 in the bank, they can lend out 9 times what they hold. It's a derivative of a derivative of a derivative. There's no asset at the end of it. There's only future taxation. That's what props up the Treasury bond, is future taxation. Shit's getting wild. Why do you think the price of gold is going up? Because everyone from the old system, we've heard it lately, is everyone should be buying gold just because there's problems with the dollars. Oh, absolutely. We are absolutely going to hit 5K gold. Absolutely. Now, this is what I want you guys to understand. They're rolling the whole system into the Bitcoin. Now, they're doing it gradually, and this is going to sound horrible, but this is what they're doing. They don't want the general public to roll over into the new currencies. They don't. They don't want you guys to own the Bitcoin when this shifts, as this shifts, because they know it's going to reach a point. Because remember, guys, this has happened over and over again with gold and silver. They have rehypothecated the gold over and over and over again, where everyone is going to have to get cashed out in the derivatives. When it's going to reach a point, and it's coming here soon, people are going to call for their gold. It's already happening. Hey, I want my gold. Unfortunately, because every gold contract has a fiat loophole where, hey guys, if we don't have the gold, we have the legal right to send you fiat. Wait, I wanted gold. Sorry, I can cash out your share, your derivative, but I'll have to send you dollars. Guys, there's 39 contracts that are a derivative of the gold that will all actually be cashed out. Where do you think the dollars from that gold 39 contracts. Where do you think the cash from the 39 contracts are going to go? They're going to go to the Bitcoin. Hang on one second. I got to check my phone. Of course, while I'm doing my show, I have people sending me texts. Oh, well. So that's why everyone who's in the know, oh, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. All right, that's why everyone in the know knows. Yes, the price of gold is going to go up, but not everyone who cashes out is going to receive gold. 39 times the amount of money is about to roll into the Bitcoin, because we already have London telling India, sorry, no more silver. What? No more silver? Well, then I will. Wait, I have a delivery for. Yeah, we'll send you cash. Well, guys, when these friggin' contracts, we are talking hundreds of millions of dollars each contract. When they say, sorry, we'll cash you out, but we can't send you the silver, they'll send them $100 and something million in cash. If they know silver is out, do you think they're going to roll it into gold and go, gee, I hope I get my gold? No. They're going to roll it into Bitcoin, because it is the final escape hatch, the final one. Let's just say it this way. The Bitcoin is the last boss in the video game that we know of, monetary system. All of the derivatives of gold and silver are going to roll into the Bitcoin, because it's an asset that when you receive it, you own it. As soon as you buy it and you receive it, you own it. It's an asset. Welcome to the show, folks. Welcome to the show. This is what is coming. When you hear someone say, oh, all of this money's going to waterfall right into Bitcoin, that's what the fuck they're talking about. It isn't that people are going to sell their physical gold. It's going to be the derivatives of the gold. Once they realize they can't have a delivery, because then they know they're living on a paper. As soon as they hear, sorry, just like what happened in India, sorry, no more silver. Wait, so my representation of value is in a piece of paper? Sell that piece of shit. They're going to sell it. And where are they going to roll it into? Ugh, I get chills just thinking about it. We are talking trillions and trillions of dollars that is going to roll right into the Bitcoin. And this is all planned, folks. That's what America plans on doing, is rolling the gold certificates that they sell. It's just paper gold, and rolling it into the Bitcoin. Brother, you ain't wrong. 13 to 15 million per coin. And that doesn't even include the Federal Reserve about, yeah, look at that. Silver is $69 per ounce in India today. The market just broke. All right, if that is true, if silver is $69 per ounce in India, that just means the global silver market just broke. That means you have two separate prices now. You have the Indian price and you have the London price. Now, if you own silver, and let me ask you this, do you think India will accept any of the derivatives of silver? Or are they saying silver, so you better bring us some fucking coins, silver? They are not going to buy a derivative of silver. Because they just got screwed by London. London just said, yep, fuck off. You ain't getting no silver. How do we know if there's faking the Bitcoin country? Blockchain, brother. Blockchain. It's the ledger lets us know where if you go online, you can find the address for every single country. Russia, China, well, yeah, China, Germany, all of them. All right, guys and gals, I have to roll. We are rocking and rolling today. All right, everyone, give us a call. 941, hang on a second. 941-413-8080. Give us a call or send us a text right now and say, Ben, how can I get more Bitcoin? We'll run you through the options. We accept Visa and MasterCard. Just saying. Give us a call. All right. 941-413-8080. Just send us a text. We can get you non-KYC. Remember, non-KYC only at our place because we're a private club. All right, everyone, have a great day. Once again, 941-413-8080. Give us a call, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Whew. Off to the races, folks. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.